Welcome everybody to another episode of the Boxland broadcast. This week is me and Kyle, your hosts. My name's Noah. This is my co-host Kyle. Say hi to the world, Kyle.
Why did you introduce us twice?
I had a plan. I was gonna write it out, and then I was just like, nah, I got this. I don't. I should just write things out.
Listen, all 5 previous viewers, if they return, they'll be like, man, this is organized. We came for the shit show.
That's true.
We came
That's
to
true.
see feces hit the fan.
Well, it's lucky there's a fan right above you.
I know.
Oh, I could just shower you in fucking feces. Oh my god, put a little basil in there, some oregano, throw it right in the ceiling fan, make a little shit sun, and it comes down and you're like, hey, it's me, Arriba Kyle. And then you fling it in the air a little bit more, and now you've made yourself another fan.
Remember when we had the discussion, we were like, oh, we'll have these shorter ones a little more concise and focused.
Nah,
and then we decided to talk to a minute about shit.
That was a different time. That was almost 4 whole minutes ago. Now, how are you doing there today, Kyle? How are you doing? I haven't really seen you today very much.
Because you went to Incredibles 2.
Oh, speaking of Incredibles 2, another seamless segue, as they'd have it. We're fucking great. Now, Kyle, since we both went and saw Incredibles 2, why don't you tell me what? Also, this is gonna be our official review of Incredibles 2, and also, wait, hold on. Before that, a little word from me, not Kyle. Hey everyone, this show here is brought to you by us, and it's broken up into a few different subjects sometimes. So if you're looking for a specific subject, just check into that description below. We've got some links to other videos. I assume, Kyle, and also time codes. So look forward to that. See, we're going up. We're just heading uphill. There's the hill climb racer too.
We really don't know anything. Please bear with us. We're still figuring it out. Just being totally honest.
It's unbearable.
So do you want my solo predictions?
Since we both saw Incredibles 2.
I mean,
we both saw it.
Don't lie to the audience.
I never lie. I'm a saint.
No, you're nothing but lies.
What now as in a pure Republic of Boxland fashion, what did you think the plot was of this movie from start to finish, please?
Did we pretend like I saw Solo when we did the same thing?
We did see Solo together.
No, we didn't.
No, we did though. Listen, it's okay if you don't remember. You did have a weird, hazy recollection of the events that took place.
So I'll
link to that video in the description.
So here's my rundown of Incredibles 2.
Okay.
So it starts off immediately after Incredibles 1. They're like the Underminer, who, being a mole person, is blind, and so they just it's legitimately 2 minutes. He's just like, I'm the Underminer. Then Mr. Incredible just throws him into the sun. Yeah. This movie also dark, right? Okay. They're Incredible 1 starts with suicide and wow. It starts with okay, and then it's the lawsuits, all this kind of stuff.
You didn't save my life. You ruined my death.
Yeah. They're like, you know what? That's what children love. Kids movies, they love that hard
realism.
Dark. Yeah. So Mr. Incredible's like, listen, I've got shit to do. He just grabs him by the scruff and throws him into the sun.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's just
And is he screaming the entire way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brutal, horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Like him. It's a 2-minute scene.
Yeah.
There's a minute of him throwing him into the sun, and then there's another minute of him choking in space,
it's a tracking shot,
and just into the sun, and then burning to death.
Watching the light, watching him become aware he's about to die. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. And deciding whether he's going to suffocate first or burn to death.
Yeah.
Right. And so. And then they go home and they fast forward. It's a hard fast forward of however many years it's been since the first Incredibles.
Yeah.
I forget exactly. Do you know how many years?
Since the first movie came out?
Yes.
14 years.
14 years. So yeah, so it's it goes 14 years.
Yeah.
So now it's present day, and it's so it's like Jack's a shitty like teenager.
What kind of music does he listen to?
Shitty music.
Like what?
I don't know. Whatever people listen to now. All right.
I want specifics. I want a specific band that he listens to.
I don't know any bands now.
Ah, come on. Yeah, you do.
No. Anyhow, so they can't get the rights to any music, so I don't know what he listens to because they never really play it. It's all just sort of like background music. Noah.
Oh, so he listens to DJ Kyle.
What?
You're a DJ in this movie now.
This is my plot synopsis. Why are you trying to hijack the plot synopsis?
I'm just trying to expand the world a little bit.
Anyhow.
Like, I feel like your recollection of details is a little hazy sometimes, so I just do my best to try and, like, steer you back on the right path.
Anyhow, so it's... And then, the invisible force-field girl...
Violet.
She now just goes by V.
Okay.
She's like in like the arts. She's like she's got hard goth into like the arts and like university. And then who's the fast kid? It was like their son. I can't remember.
Quick.
He was just fast. I don't know his fucking name.
His name was Fast.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. You're smiling. And so it's
what are you
like,
talking about?
well, what's his name?
Race.
No, it wasn't. It was like, was it like Flash or some shit like that?
It was Flash.
Was it actually?
I'm surprised that you got that. Don't look it up.
No, I'm going to look it up now.
It's Dash.
Was it actually?
Yes.
See, I don't believe you now. Who was?
Hey, audience.
So this was supposed to be a synopsis, and now I have to look up who the name of the fast kid. Who was the fast kid in the?
It was Dash.
And I mean, it might be, but now I can't trust you.
Full name Dashiell.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I would never lie to you, Kyle.
Yeah, you would.
I would never lie to you in a million days.
And so, Dash, because he has like superpowers, where they're like, you should use your superpowers, but he's like, I can't have it. So he's like the running back of like the football team. Also, he's just, because once again, they're like, you know what? It's kind of grown up with these, but it's still gonna be a kid movie. So it's like he's banging just sleuths left, right, and center. But it's all implied. It's one of those things of like he takes like 3 girls to his bedroom and just puts like a sock on the door, and everyone else is like, we know. And then they make some like dumb joke about it. So it's like the kids laugh, but all the adults in the audience are like, yeah, we know what's going on.
The sock on the other side of that door is not flaccid, because the sock would be limp on the one side, but on the other side, hard as a rock.
Hey audience, because it's just you and me.
No, we don't have time for this.
It's just you and me. We had time to look up the name of the Dashbirds and fucking do a merry-go-round of names.
You the name.
After about like a minute of guessing.
No.
Anyhow.
You said Flash.
Yeah, I did say Flash.
With you because sometimes I get worried about your build.
Also, you said like 3 things before I said Flash.
Disagree. Wasn't here.
Exactly. It's just Kyle now.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it's like the mom and dad are both like,
what's
they're older. I don't know, mom and dad. So they're older, and they're just like, the economy's hit them hard. Yeah. So they're like, they're trying to make ends meet while also pretending to not be superheroes, because it's like even after the whole thing, there was like a bunch of damage. They're like, listen, superheroes still bad. Fuck off. And then all of a sudden, there's been crimes, terrorist crimes. No. And then also this is the first box like secretly it's a Boxland Pixar like collab because in the background you see the Freedom Cops running around shooting people on the crime. It's just, if you look at the TV screen at about 15 minutes in, it's just like Freedom Cops are on the scene and they're just running through like popping motherfuckers running the crime. And so they're like, should we do this? And they're like, no, we shouldn't. And then, I mean, spoiler, they do.
What?
It's like the whole thing of like, oh, like there's a bunch more like family stuff, and then they go through, and then it turns out that who's been causing all this crime? Frozone.
No.
Why? Because was it Syndicate Syndrome?
It was Syndicate. Just stop looking things up.
No.
Just believe the words I say.
No, that's the worst advice anyone has ever said in their life. Just believe the words Noah says. No, you could be like, like trees are hard, and I'd be like, I have to Google this now.
His name was Buddy.
Was it actually?
It was Buddy.
I'm still Googling it. Who?
Hey audience, just so you know, I want it on record that I am not a liar. And that I have stated his first name is Buddy. And you're gonna call me a liar right now.
But who's the villain name?
Buddy.
But what was the villain name?
Buddy.
I think his real name might have been Buddy, but wasn't he like Syndrome or some shit?
He picks it up with the laser thing. He throws him in the sky. He's like, "And I am your nemesis, Buddy." Remember that scene?
Oh, so I'm waiting for the
Syndrome. You're right.
Is it actually?
Yep.
Hold on. Syndrome, yes.
I would never lie to you, Kyle.
Except you tried to tell me it was Syndicate.
No, you said Syndicate.
Yeah, and then you're like, it's Syndicate.
Again, sometimes I just get worried that you don't believe in yourself enough, and so I'm just trying to encourage you to just speak your mind, stay true.
We're 11 minutes in, and we haven't even gotten into the actual review part of it yet. So, because what happened is, they didn't realize that he had a secret plan of evil nanobots. And so they infect Frozone, and now he's become Nega Frozone.
Oh.
And then there's the whole thing of like, no, you were the chosen one. And then what happens is that they all have to like band together. So this is what happens, right? Okay. This is the final scene in the movie. It's the big climactic fight, right? I skip past all the part of like, oh, we're a family, and then they're like, oh, we're doing our own things, and then they all have to come back together to be like, oh, we have to stop Frozone, right? And so what happens is that Fast Kid, Dash,
God,
right? Yeah, Dash.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
it's not Dash.
He runs around fast enough that it becomes a tornado.
Now.
That he becomes a tornado, right? And he does this around his mom, who like becomes all elastic. So now it's like an elastic tornado.
What was her name?
Mom. And so and then what happens is V makes like a platform all on the top, and then
with what?
Her telekinetic powers or whatever. Doesn't she have that? I thought she used like telekinetic powers.
She can turn invisible. She's got force fields.
Force fields, yeah. And so like Mr. Incredible jumps from a building and lands on top. He says, Nega Frozone, I have the high ground. And then Nega Frozone, still, as Samuel Jackson goes, what? And then from up top, like a WWE type move, Mr. Incredible just jumps off, and he just, right, with all of the force, like this is a very tall, it's almost in like the atmosphere. Okay. Right? He jumps off.
Yeah.
And he's like burning up like a meteor. Okay. As he comes through, he punches Nega Frozone into the core.
No.
Where he melts.
No.
Right? However, and this is the thing. So they couldn't get the original voice actor for Mr. Incredible, right?
Not Craig T. Nelson?
No. But who else could voice Mr. Incredible and was available? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
So they got.
And so when Mr. Incredible punches Nega Frozone into the core of the Earth, it starts to crack. And who has the strength to stop the Earth from breaking apart in two? Mr. Incredible. So as he looks out at his family, he grabs both sides of the Earth and it splits apart. And he says, I love you, but I have to do this. They say no. He says, I am The Rock. And he closes the world in on himself, seals it shut. Right? And so they all have like a funeral service, and then and then, you know, it's like, oh, and then credits roll after like the funeral service, and then post-credit scene, you know who is the mastermind behind it all? Frozone's wife.
No!
And that's the tease for Incredibles 3.
Honey?
Yeah. So that's how the Incredibles movie went.
Man, we're gonna be putting out 2 videos like right side by side of that. That's good.
It's my phone.
You son of a bitch. You just like give me your shirt. Give me your shorts. I don't have anything to wipe off your gross shit.
I mean, I mean, you said something like my face 2 days ago. You spat all over my neck.
You're welcome. That's a treat. This was not a treat. This was.
No, it's not a treat because your fucking breath smelled like shitty, terrible coffee.
Well, it was. So that's God. It's gross. God, there was so much.
So why don't you tell me what the?
Oh no, you already explained the whole movie.
So do you want to put another marker down?
Oh yeah, I'll do that. No, this is still the same thing.
Okay.
This is all it's all rounded together. This is how the movie industry works. Now, Kyle, I'm not gonna lie to you. It feels like we saw different movies.
Would you say my version is better than the version you saw?
Yes.
How much of that is because The Rock now voices Mr.
Oh, that is 1,000,000% why. The other part is that Nega Frozone is in that, and I'm a big fan of Nega Frozone. So, I'll do a quick non-spoiler section here, and then follow that up immediately with all the spoilers.
Yeah.
Non-spoiler.
Should we put the guac sound effect between where it's like this is the sound effect of when we're about to get into spoilers, and then you hit guac.
Do you want to do the guac sound?
I mean, I
if
feel
you
like
want
it's
to,
your
you
sound.
just lean right into the mic and just go guac.
All right. Well, I'll do that.
Do that right now.
No, because that's the sound for when we go into spoilers. Do non-spoilers, and then we'll do a sound for
live.
spoilers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. So non-spoiler review. What did you think of this movie? What would you rate it?
I mean, no, I did my part. Now it's your part.
So I give it a good. I don't know if I'd say it's great. It's not close to the first one in my opinion. Like, first one had so much right with it. This second one plays very hard on the nostalgia factor of the first one. Like, hey, you liked this, you liked this, you liked this, and it was pretty evident from the trailers. I wasn't quite ready for how much it was going to just repeat the first story, with the exception of the last. There's bits and pieces from the last act that aren't verbatim the same movie. I'd probably give it a 7. Yeah, if I had to put a number to it, it is just. Hey, here you go. Also, some of the characters look real weird. Like, do you remember in the first movie, Violet's, like, the guy at school, Tony Ridinger?
I don't know why you're asking me if I remember people from the first movie.
In the first movie, Violet's like, I've got this crush on this guy, I do. And then Dash is like, Tony Ridinger. And then she's like, shut up. And then that's everything for her. And then at the end of the movie, she makes a date with the guy at the football arena place where they're doing the track and field thing.
Okay.
Do you remember this?
No.
Well,
I honestly remember almost nothing from the first movie.
He looks.
I haven't seen
weird.
it in probably 13 years.
You saw it at least twice then. Tony Ridinger looks real weird. He does not look like he did in the first movie. For the most part, the characters do. There are some.
Wait, how does me not seeing it for 13 years mean I saw it twice?
I just took a guess. Was I right?
I mean, maybe.
Yes.
To be honest, I could have seen it 12 times. 13 years still have passed. I won't remember anything.
I think it was probably twice. I feel like I was there.
No, you weren't there 13 years ago.
So, yeah. Oh, there's only like a couple different couple characters that look a little bit weird. No, you know what? It's just Tony. Tony looks fucking weird. It's like they de-aged him, like they took 4 years off of him. Because he was like the high school senior, and now he looks like he's a middle school, like grade 7, grade 8. Yeah, it's good. Is it great? Maybe. If the first movie didn't exist, then yes, this would have been great.
Ah. So, in comparison to the first one, it's good, but as a standalone, you'd say it's great?
Yeah, but I mean, you'd need the first movie in order for this to be good. Because the character development really doesn't go much in comparison to the first movie. Like, the first movie did, you had... Each one of the characters got their own individual moments. That was like, hey, Mrs. Incredible's doing something. What's her name? Her name is Helen. Helen. And she got to go do her own thing. And then Mr. Incredible, famously known as Robert or Bob, got to go do his own thing. And then Dash and Violet and Jack all got their moments too. Well, Jack not as much. Also, fun fact, did you know, because, I guess, I don't know if it's, okay.
Oh, also, Jack's dead, that's why I didn't mention him at all.
Oh. What's your movie rated, by the way?
Well, that depends where you are.
Well, America. We're in the States.
Like, do they have a 14A?
Yes.
Then yeah, I'll go 14A.
14A.
Jack dies off screen.
Oh, wow. What happens to him?
Got hit by a bus.
By a bus?
At
what age? What age?
They never say. It was sometime between.
You said you see it.
No, it's sometime between the. It's during the 14-year gap between when they kill the Underminer and there's and then the rest of the movie happens.
They kill him on screen, but you don't.
No, they kill him off screen. I said they kill him off screen. They just.
I'm pretty sure you said on screen.
I'm pretty sure it said off screen.
Oh, it looks like we'll just have to re-listen to that, and I'll just slide it in. And can you do me a favor right now? Can you just say on screen?
No. So yeah, they kill Jack off screen.
I'm Kyle, and I say on screen. Kyle, what a great impression of yourself yet again. You're a wizard with words.
They just mentioned, they're like, oh, Jack died
in that tragic bus accident.
13 years ago in that horrible bus.
So he was a baby.
Filled with bombs. Yes, he was still a child.
Filled with bombs.
Yeah, it was terrorists.
Bon voyage.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the movie. You know what? That's gonna be it. I really don't have much more to say. Spoiler time. Are you ready for this? There's gonna be some Q&A shit right here.
Hold on.
No. No.
You're welcome.
No.
You were like,
it went too large. I'll cut the cut.
You meant Kyle, do you want to make the guac sound? And you made a mistake.
I physically don't know if I can make that quiet enough. I may just have to be like...
Cut it out and insert another guac?
Or I'll just be like... Warning. 3, 2, 1. And then you'll make that sound, and then that'll be that.
Or you just cut it out and just use the warning as a spoiler.
I'm just gonna go spoiler warning right here, guac. See, that's how you do it. You just look right into the microphone. You say "guac." You don't eat the microphone. Putting the ming in your mouth and just going. Oh.
I mean, this is why.
Look at Ben. Look at him. He is innocent, and he is
why you don't
very
ask me to make the
right
guac
now.
sounds. This is why you don't ask me to make the guac
I
sound.
ask you to contribute, and you do this to me.
This is what happens when you lie to me about the names of the Incredibles.
I never lied to you. Their names have always been Ford, Johnson, Robert Ford, Doug Ford. They've all been Fords.
Getting that SEO terms out there. Just are there any?
This is gonna age well.
Not like Rob Ford did. Because he's dead. Okay,
so you ready for this? I'm gonna ask you some questions here.
There's your buffer for spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. How long do you think the Underminer's in the movie for?
I'm gonna say 4 minutes.
You are right. He's roughly... I mean, also, they made him look real weird, too. Oh, they changed his whole costume and outfit and the way he looks, and now they really gave him, like... You know, imagine if someone who's really fat was simultaneously becoming Jell-O.
Okay.
Ooh, muck. Just imagine muck.
Okay.
That with a nose.
Mm.
And that's it. Yeah, they have the whole... So, movie synopsis. Incredibles are like, fuck, dude. There's a parking lot. There's a Mr. Mole Man. And he's... his name's Minor.
It takes place, immediately after Incredibles, right?
It is immediately after. Now...
Which is weird, for, 14 years have passed.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily know if it makes it for the better, because it... there is a weird undertone of, equal rights, but this movie takes place in the 60s.
Mm.
I'm not saying don't advocate. I'm not saying equal rights is bad. I'm just saying the way they go about doing it is a little weird.
Okay.
Because they're like, we got to put Elastigirl on the front.
Is it weird in a ham-fisted weird, or is it weird
not
just
quite ham-fisted, but it's
weird?
close.
Okay.
Also a little bit of a message weird as well.
Mm.
But also maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, it's we got to put Elastigirl on the front. Get her, because women can be superheroes too, even though they kind of did that in the first one.
Which I wouldn't even say is a spoiler thing, since I feel like...
Oh, that's all through the trailer.
Yeah, I was going to say, in all the trailers and stuff, they're like, Mr. Incredible.
Listen, I'm just saying you're at risk in this section now for me to just say,
yeah,
I was the villain or something.
Mm-hmm.
He takes off his mask, he's like, I was Chewbacca the whole time. You're risking that. So the Underminer, he's in it, and then he's not, and he gets away, and...
Oh, they don't beat him?
No, he just gets away.
Oh.
There was, the video game?
No.
There was a video game for The Incredibles, and it was... At the
I know you've mentioned it.
Where I played it, and it was good.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It ages fine. But at the time, Disney said that was the canonical sequel to The Incredibles.
Oh.
Or Pixar did.
Oh.
Yeah, they were like, this is the story. This is where it was going to go, but we made a video game instead. And then, 13 years go by, and they're just like, you know what, never mind, we're doing Incredibles 2.
That's a weird...
It was weird, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, I'm going to go through this and be like, this is plot points for plot points for plot points. Did you see the short for Incredibles, Jack Attack?
No. To be honest, the only reason why I remembered about him at the end there was because when I looked up the Incredibles runtime earlier.
Yeah.
And that was one of the, other things people have looked for, was that I was like, I never heard of that before.
Yeah.
I literally did not know about it until I searched it up today.
It's just Kari, the babysitter, when they're all going to the island, and they're like, well, no one's got to watch Jack, so we left Kari in charge. I'm pretty sure her name's Kari. It would be Carrie. It's spelled like Carrie, but I'm pretty sure she keeps calling herself Kari. I might be remembering wrong. That it's just I think it's roughly 8 minutes of her watching Jack as he has powers now, and he's flipping out and doing weird shit like teleporting and turning on fire and stuff, and it's just her dealing with that. And then at the end of it, the guy who keeps moving the family around because they keep breaking their cover, he's interrogating her. He's like, so what'd you see? And she's like, I just wish I could forget the whole thing. And he has this box, and he's like, you will, kiddo. Boop. And it fires a plunger, and it makes her forget everything. So the movie Incredibles 2 starts off with that exact same scene, just not with Kari, it's with Tony Ridinger.
Ah.
Yeah. So, and it's verbatim the exact same
thing. And this
is,
when you say starts, is this after Underminer, or is this...
No, this is before.
Okay.
This is how the movie opens up.
Okay.
The title card hasn't come in yet. But they do that same scene, and the last, I think, 5-6 sentences are verbatim exactly the same as the one with Kari. It's I wish I could forget the whole thing. And then he's like, you will, kiddo. You will. And he does it, and it's the same. Nothing different. I mean, if you hadn't seen that short, I'm sure it would have been new for you. Kind of came off as a little bit just, lazy. Also, Violet's whole story with that is super weird. Because her character boils down to, I had a crush on this guy, and then I asked him out, and then he didn't show up because somebody erased his memory. And now I'm dealing with that.
Oh, so why did they erase only his memory?
Because, for some reason, and again, this is only to give Violet a plot, it seems, when they're in the parking lot, because as soon as he erases his memory, he's like, the incident is what they talk about. She's like, what do you remember about the incident? He's like, and he explains what he saw. And when the Underminer came up, the whole family's like, ba-da-ba-ba-da, putting on the mask, just like the end of The Incredibles 1. And then apparently just falls to shit right there because Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl, they're like, you kids stay here, we're gonna go deal with this. And they're like, wait, what? We're a family, we're gonna fight superheroes all together. And then they're like, no, you stay here, and then you gotta watch Jack, and he's in a stroller, in a super suit. Which, you know, seems a little weird, because they don't know that he has powers yet.
Yeah.
But they just put him in a suit.
Yeah.
Which, sure, okay. It's fine. It's a minor gripe. So the Underminer comes up, they're like, watch the kids, and then they run off, and then Dash, being Dash, is like, I don't want to watch a baby, I'm like 10 years old. And so he's like, here, Violet, and he gives Violet the baby, and then he runs away to go help, and Violet's like, oh, I don't want to be in charge of no baby, I don't. And so she takes off her mask and throws it on the ground in a completely new move for her, because she had some moments like that in Incredibles 1 and never took her mask off in the middle of a parking lot on a busy day, or immediately after her track and field meet in the middle of daylight. And so, yeah, she takes it off and turns around, and Tony's right there, and she's like, oh, hi, Tony, oh my god, I'm sorry, you shouldn't see me in this is crazy, oh my god, oh man. And then that's the thing. So her plot point is, he saw me with a mask, they erased his memory, and now he doesn't remember who I am, and I'm a teenage girl. That's about it. Doesn't really go anywhere else besides learning how to cope with being a teenage girl. It's fine. It has some jokes in it. There's really not a lot of character work for the kids in this one, which is a shame because they were real good in the first one. Like, there's no little giddy chuckle from Dash when he's running on water. You don't get that. There's no like. It's tough to explain that. Having just seen this movie like 2 hours ago, I'm still collecting all the thoughts.
Well, I think part of the issue too is it's like, it is this is taking place immediately after the first one, so there really isn't a ton of room for these characters to like now grow, right? I'm not saying that it's like they needed to jump 14 years, make it like a real time thing, but it's like, what it would have been nice if it was like, hey, a couple years have passed, right? Like,
or even like a month, and now this is a completely new story.
Yeah,
it's not just a continuation of a. It's a continuation for no reason, because again, it's just like the Underminer's the segue into a brand new plot. So why does this movie take place immediately after it, anyways?
Yeah, I don't think it was like, and like, once again, yeah, sure, there's a game. If people are really interested, they probably would have played it.
I did.
And it's like, but yeah, I don't think anyone was like, but how is the Underminer going to be resolved? It's like, oh, they beat him, whatever, right? They could even start like, 1 year ago today, the Underminer, like a news report thing or whatever. If they wanted to deal with that,
would have been equally as effective.
Yeah, it's
so. Her plot point's that Dash is like struggling with school, and that's all he gets. Jack has powers, and now the family's discovering that. And at first I was like, wait, didn't they show that she had powers in the other one? And it's like, oh, I guess not. Like, at the end of the movie, they're all on the ground, and Syndrome's got Jack, and he's having all the power things. And they're like, something's happening, I can't see. I'm like, oh, good point. I didn't even think about that. Great job, movie. They don't re-show that. I just thought of that with my mind. Yeah, so now you got Bob dealing with that. Jack's got powers. That's amazing. And he's got all the powers.
See, it's also weird because in the beginning, all like the teasers before like the first trailer was like, it's all Jack having powers. Yeah. And then it was like, but it's actually going to be a lot like Mrs. Incredibles or what was it? Being in charge of things. There's like she's the leader. Yeah. It was just sort of weird shift between like, oh, is this going to be them dealing with Jack now having powers, and more of like an internal thing of like, how do we deal with this baby having all these powers versus like, a movie that it seems like it became.
It's the two storylines that go at the same time. Like, Bob's at home with the kids dealing with Jack having powers. Elastigirl's out doing missions because Bob Odenkirk is like, I really want you to be. I'm going to bring superheroes back into the light because You know, it's actually got like another like real dark story element in there because like the guy who tried to kill himself off that building. In this one, Bob Odenkirk's like, I need to bring superheroes back into this because when I was younger, my dad was in. It's like a real Watchmen, kind of like the glory days for the Watchmen montage. They're like, yeah, he knew Gazer Beam, he knew all of these people, Dyna-Guy. And then one day some robbers broke into his house, and so he tried to call Dyna-Guy, but superheroes had been outlawed. So the robbers came in, saw him on the phone, and they shot him. And he died. And it was like, oh. So we're just carrying on this one dark moment in the Incredibles movies, huh? Bring superheroes back into, again, just society. Redoing and be that because of that reason. And Elastigirl's his best option because she has the best track record of not destroying everything.
Fair enough.
Yep. And they even pull out charts and they're just like, yeah, here's your last 5 years before you guys had to go under, where like this is your destruction, this is what you cost the city. And even during the Underminer fight, like a bunch of drills come out of nowhere. Like it's not just the one, it's like several. And they level the city. And then they never talk about that again. A whole bank disappears into the ground as well as like an entire city block. And everyone's just like, you know what? Yeah, okay.
Also, yeah, it's probably a little more difficult to do a lot of damage when it's like your ability is stretchy.
I'm stretchy like a little frog.
Versus like, I
punch good.
Yeah, like I'm super strong and smash things.
So you're familiar with the villain of the movie?
No. I'm assuming it's Bob Odenkirk's character because
no.
Oh.
Now the only reason.
I know nothing about this movie aside from the first trailer.
And that's what I mean. Like the end of the first trailer, it's like you see that person in the mask, and they're just like, "Oh, belong to me" or something, and it's like big flashing black and white lights.
Okay, maybe I didn't see that one.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't recall that at all.
It's like hypnotizing.
Oh,
is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Also, the bad guy's name is Screenslaver. Which I'm like, good pun. But it's the 60s. I don't think screensavers were a thing yet.
Yeah.
So your pun doesn't quite make sense here. Doesn't matter though. Again, another just minor grip. I'm just a bit of a salty bitch. So that person is trying to hypnotize the entire world. Well, trying to hypnotize superheroes. No, trying to hypnotize the entire world so that she can convince superheroes so that this person can convince superheroes to come to Screenslaver, join forces with Screenslaver. No. Screenslaver's trying to control the world, so that the superheroes are like, we gotta band together to stop Screenslaver, and then the Screenslaver is like, you know what? I tricked you, and then she hypnotizes the heroes to do bidding.
Wouldn't it just be easier to hypnotize superheroes first? Right. Like, no matter what, you have to like, the plan is lynches on, like the linchpin of it is hypnotizing superheroes. It seems like you could just cut out hypnotizing the normal people and just be like, I'm just going to hypnotize these people.
Also, the hypnosis in the movie seems to work based on how important you are to the plot. Like, there's an entire... At one point, Elastigirl's giving an interview at a news station, and there's monitors everywhere. And then the host is just like, can you hear me now? And like takes over the host name, and he's just like, hello, Elastigirl. And then she's just like looking at him. There's no monitor behind him conveniently. And then she like turns around and is like, oh my god, everyone's hypnotized, and look at all these monitors with fancy things on. I don't look at that. And then she looks away. But it's like they got hypnotized like that, but because she's important, she doesn't. You know, it plays a little loose with that. Meanwhile, Bob's dealing with powers, and
so is that whole part just sort of like a comedy break of like, look at the shenanigans in the household type deal?
I wouldn't say just comedy. Like, it does have, because at the end of that story, he kind of breaks down, and it's just like, I'm Mr. Incredible. I'm not Mr. Mediocre, Mr. Average. I just want to be able to prove that I'm a good dad. And so, you know, there's the emotional resonance there.
I see.
I don't think it hits particularly hard because I do spend a lot of the time just going like, shenanigans, and then he breaks down. It's not out of nowhere. It does lead up to it. It's just,
it's not super clear. Like
it's not just like let's follow this until we are also at that same point. It does the same kind of it does the cliche kind of thing where if you're gonna have a character breakdown, you overload them with a whole bunch of stuff for like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Because like Jack, they find out Jack has powers. The kids do because somehow Mr. Incredible's been able to keep that to himself for a week.
Which also for no reason. Like you would think that they'd be like, hey, listen, you two have superpowers. Your brother has superpowers. I don't. Hey, Violet, do you want to like make a force bubble around your brother just so he does it? Cool, thanks. Like, you think that would be?
It makes sense why he doesn't tell Elastigirl because she's out doing something, and he's like, I don't want to worry her because she's gonna want to come home.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense. But yeah, when the kids find out, they're just like, why didn't you tell us? And his honest to God answer is, I don't know. And they just kind of move on from that. And then it's just like, the kids are like, well, why did you tell us this? And why did you tell us that? And Dad's just like, yes, powers are so cool. Oh my God, I want to hold Jack. And then Jack is like, and then he's like, I just want to be a good dad. And then everyone gets real quiet and is like, hey, there you go. And then the ever emotional line, I suppose, where Violet just hugs him. Is like, "You're not a great dad. You're an incredible dad." You know. I'm like, I don't know if a pun was the I don't know if a joke was the right way to go here.
Here's the emotional linchpin of the scene. But you know what? Listen, Mr. Pixar said, every 15 minutes there has to be...
No. Mr. Disney said that.
Oh, is it Disney?
It is now.
Oh, okay.
And it's very noticeable.
Was the first one Pixar?
It was Pixar.
Okay.
I don't know how big of a hand Disney had in it, if any.
Okay.
I'll just look that up real quick.
Yeah, because it's... Yeah, do you think it was one of like, listen, the deal says every 5 minutes there has to be a pun. And listen, guys... We've gone 6, so...
Okay, it is Disney as well.
Yeah.
But it's Disney Presents a Pixar film. This one is a Disney Pixar film.
Okay.
So, like, Disney's using it kind of as distribution, which makes sense because they did that a lot with, like, Finding Nemo and Monsters, Inc. Like, that was their distribution unit.
Yeah, they're the producer, not the actual, like, yeah.
So now Disney's... apparently in that game too, and it's noticeable because you've just got a bunch of like unresolved plot points. You've got characters that are fine, like they're fine. They're passable characters. They're totally. Also, Bob has a weird masculinity problem in this one because they're like, Helen's your best bet, and he's like, better than me, but I'm Mr. Incredible, and then she's like, and he's like, I'm the man, and I need to feel like the man, and that's a. I wouldn't say it's new because you could put those pieces together from the first Incredibles, but they stopped being subtle about it.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I mean by like the like equality kind of thing.
Yeah, they
starts like really they're like listen, they're like making their fists like putting in your mouth. Just listen. Shh, listen.
They lose a little bit of show don't tell, and they're just like we're telling you this.
I don't think Disney's ever been good at the show don't tell.
Which I mean. Sometimes like exposition is totally fine. Sometimes you just need to like
but you just gotta do it right.
Yeah.
So I'll break down the plot points here. So first things first, you've got that Kari Tony thing, and then not dissimilar from the first one, you have a major fight with a villain, which results in an interaction where they got away. Because in the first one that was Bon Voyage, and this one it's the Underminer. They get away, that's fine. And then they another event upholds in the first one. It's Buddy's like, I've got rocket boots and I really like using them, and then it's like, oh, superheroes should be outlawed, and they have that whole thing. In this one, it's the exact same thing. News stories like superheroes need to be outlawed because the look at what the Incredible family did. They almost destroyed our whole city. And then you meet Bob Odenkirk's character with the exact same line that Buddy used in the first one. I'm your number one fan. And it's like, you could not have made this more obvious that this group of people was the villain. Now, it's not Bob Odenkirk, but the only reason it's not Bob Odenkirk is because the actual villain was not in the trailer. Yeah, Bob Odenkirk's like, here's my card. Why don't you guys come over to my place and we'll talk about getting superheroes into the real world. And they're all like, sounds G money. And they go, and the driver, they get out of the car, and the driver like says to all of them, he's just like, "Oh my God, I'm your biggest fan," and then they shrug him off like it's normal. Also, he's not the villain, but like it's just that's the same line.
Again,
just using it because it's like clearly where you're going. It's foreshadowing. It's just a foreshadow line at this point. Get it? Meet the person. You meet Bob Odenkirk, and you meet his sister, whose name I can't remember. She wasn't very memorable. And they're like, "Hi, I'm the speaky guy, and this is my sister. She's the inventor type. She does all these cool inventions, and I promote things." And they're like, "Wow, cool. That's great." And they're like, "Now we're gonna send you on a solo mission." And so, like the first one where they send Mr. Incredible on a standalone mission, they send Helen on a standalone mission.
Now, is the island or is the name of the place also like a pun?
See, I liked the pun. I liked the joke in the first one because it was genuinely clever.
Well,
like,
and
man is an island. I like that.
Well, not only that, but it also resonates with like the theme of it of like, oh, he couldn't do this alone. He needed his family despite he was hiding this before, but he can't do it without them type deal. Yeah. Do they do that again?
Elastigirl manages to save the day pretty much every time, guaranteed, no problems.
No, but like with the name.
There isn't like an island.
Oh, okay.
It's just like she's out in the city. Yeah. There is a pun on the city though, and I can't remember the name of the city right now.
It's you'll need your family for this town.
No, it's like Metberg or something. There was a pun because everyone laughed. And I don't remember what it is. So yeah, she goes on that mission, saves the thing successfully, like Mr. Incredible does in the first one with the first robot. And they get out and they're like, "Wait a minute, there's a bigger villain behind this? Intriguing." And then they have the altercation with the first villain. Mr. Incredible with Syndrome, Elastigirl with Screenslaver. The only difference is, in this one, she beats Screenslaver.
Oh?
Yeah, and she pulls off his mask, and it's this like 18-year-old kid. And there's like, "Well, you're going to jail for a long
So this
time."
is also someone you haven't seen before.
Just a completely different character, yeah. Okay. Put him in jail, and then... Ooh, pardon me. Something goes wrong. Oh, yeah. There's new superheroes as well, but they really don't matter. They're about as deep as a fucking paperclip. You've got Void. She's a girl who makes portals. Which is fine. It's cool, I guess. She's probably the most dynamic of the characters because she kind of takes on like a daughter role from Elastigirl at some point. And I'm stretching there. Pun. Get it? Like Elastigirl because she's stretchy like a little rubber band. Yeah. So that happens. There's some guy named Brick who's just a big, strong brick. It's not an actual brick. He's just like... Imagine Brick from Anchorman, but like huge.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you've got Crusher, who can crush things with telekinesis, but not uncrush things with telekinesis, apparently. They make a joke. They're like, "Uncrush this room," and he's just like, "What?" He's like, "Uncrush this room." He's like, "I can't uncrush things. They don't call me Uncrusher." It's like, "But you're using telekinesis. Just do you have telekinesis, or do you have the ability to just make things not work anymore? Is that your ability? You have a real shitty ability." And you got Lightning Guy, who's I don't remember his name. Hey, buddy.
Ben's just sneezing up on the windowsill.
Oh, is he sneezing?
Yeah.
Oh, here he comes. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you got Mr. Electric, whose name I don't remember. And then some other heroes like Screech, who's a bird. Just a bird. Not a bird person, a bird. And then you got another guy who can... you remember from Deadpool 2, What's his name?
There were a lot of superheroes in Deadpool 2.
It was the one who got stuck in the thing, and then he spits acid.
Yeah. Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist, yes. Him, but he spits lava.
Ah.
Yeah. He kind of looks like a frog.
Ah.
Also, he's like old. So those that's just the character. They really don't do anything aside from get in the way. Elastigirl starts like, wait a second, this 18-year-old pizza delivery guy was not the screenslaver somehow. He's got below average intelligence. There's no way he built an entire system that travels, nationwide across millions of TVs to hypnotize people. Mm-hmm. There's no way a pizza delivery guy could do that. And it was on the same kind of level as Ultron, where they're just like, a butterfly. He's gonna transform. Oh my god.
So what you're saying is Incredibles 2 is against pizza delivery people.
Yes. Hates pizza.
Hey, you know what, pizza delivery people? The Republic of Boxland is here for you.
That is exactly right. I see them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Saw one last night, actually. Yeah, so as she's realizing this, she's talking to the villain. Can you guess who the villain is? I have told you about her.
It's Odenkirk's sister.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's about his fucking odd. It really isn't trying to hide this secret.
Well, I mean, when it's not Bob Odenkirk, it's going to be someone around him.
There was only one thing I wasn't sure about. If Bob Odenkirk was in on it.
Mm.
He's not.
Mm.
But that was the only time they could have been like, yeah, okay, I didn't know. Because it was very obvious to his sister when he's telling the whole flashback story about like his dad being shot. He's like, and it's all because superheroes weren't there. And then his sister goes, no, it's because we had a safe room and he relied on superheroes too much. And I was like, oh, so you're just coming out as the villain right now. Like, we're 5 minutes in, right? Also, yeah, it's like she's the inventor and they really go all out on making sure that she's the inventor who's really good at inventing things. Like, she's a crack whiz with all this inventing stuff. She could do anything you ask her to. It's like make you a motorcycle or tap into a network of millions of TVs. They really don't hide it. It's without a doubt the worst part.
Mm.
Like, it's not Syndrome. I don't think anything. I really don't know if anything the Incredibles 2 could have thrown at you would have been as good as Syndrome, because he was fantastic. Yeah, and you know what? Maybe this movie is just good, not great. More I'm talking about it. So as she's figuring it out, and she's like, wait a second. What if there was... Also, it's not like she's realizing that the guy that she put away in jail isn't Screenslaver, and the sister is. She just realizes that she's like, wait a second, what if Screenslaver was controlling him from inside the mask? And then as she's coming to that conclusion, she's like, you know what? Fuck it, revealing myself now. And she puts some goggles on Elastigirl. Now Elastigirl's evil. Yeah. And so, again, like Mr. Incredible being trapped in a electric vortex, she's stuck in an electric vortex on her face. So now she's got to go get help. What's going on? She needs help. So the evil girl calls Mr. Incredible, is like, hey, your wife's acting weird. You should probably come down here and fix this because she's acting weird. And so he calls Frozen. Is like, Frozen, you gotta go deal with my kids. And then they do the whole like, I'll be there ASAP. And then you hear Honey in the background like, you better be back ASAP. I'm your wife. Super suit. I made this dinner. Don't be late. They redo that. Oh, they even redo the CT scan or the police scanner radio thing from the first movie where Mr. Incredible and Frozen are sitting in the car waiting for the fire call.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just redo that scene. But with Elastigirl on a bike.
Oh.
And she's just like, and they're not even subtle about it because she even brings it up. She's like, my husband used to do this with his friend Frozone. I'm such a hypocrite. That's a direct quote, by the way. What else? Fuck. The action sequences are great.
Okay.
I should say good things as well. The action sequences are so freaking good. It puts a lot of, like, any movie that's come before this to shame. It's really well done. Like, if you had to see this movie for the action scenes alone, it's worth it.
So how does it all wrap up?
So they get on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, we gotta go, so the evil girl's plan is she's gonna hypnotize the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna do it for evil reasons. She's gonna be like, I want to kill an ambassador, and so Alaska's gonna stop her. And so her plan is to hypnotize people so that superheroes get together, so that she, as the inventor, can be like, hey guys, y'all trust me. Boop, 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 boop. Goggles on everybody. Now you're all evil. And then get them all on a boat, sail that into the middle of the ocean, turn that boat around, get a few calls out there like, oh my god, the superheroes have taken over the boat, and then crash that boat into the city. Yeah. And that way superheroes would never be allowed again. Now hear me out, this is just a crazy idea. Just put goggles on Mr. Incredible and just be like, just go fuck up the city. I feel like that's an equal measure. Or like, hey, this is the ambassador. Just snap his neck because you're Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
Instead of taking a huge boat, taking it really far away, like enough for a third action sequence far away. And then the kids kind of get their moment because everyone's gone. Frozone gets kidnapped by all the people, and he's like, you gotta go to the boat because that's where they are. And then the kids get into the Incredicar. The Incredimobile, I think it's what it's called. And they drive out there, and they're like, oh no, I wish this car would follow that boat. And it's like following the boat, and it turns into a boat, and it follows the boat. And then they get on board with Jack. And this is where Jack's powers really start coming to fruition here. So he's got a replication power, like he's got multiple man.
Mm-hmm.
He has the ability to turn into rubber, which, that was a weird one. You only get it for a couple seconds. It's a really great scene where Jack fights a raccoon. Because he sees a raccoon eating a drumstick, and Jack is like, I want to fucking stop this shit. And so he like walks out and like phases through a window. He's got phasing abilities, and then he starts fighting this raccoon with his bare fists. He doesn't turn into the angry beast demon thing ever either. He just,
which seemed to be like the main, like that and laser eyes. I remember being like the main two.
No, laser
things.
eyes is a new thing too.
Oh.
It was fire. He had the ability to turn into metal, and then he had the demon. I think that was. Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess he can modify his build.
Yeah.
Because he turns into rubber. Because there's just one scene where the raccoon like gets on his head and starts trying to like rip everything out, and you're just getting like pieces of Jack's skin just like, stretching real far. It's a real interesting scene, and then he like turns on laser eyes and he starts terrorizing this raccoon, and then he bursts into flames. That was a great scene too. Like the raccoon thinks he breaks out of this umbrella that like got trapped by laser eyes, and then he pops up and he turns and he looks at Jack, and Jack's just sitting there and goes, hey, turns on fire. Also later in the film, Mr. Incredible picks up Jack by the arms and legs and goes, son, activate laser eyes. Pew, 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 pew. Starts using him as a laser gun. It's fun. Yeah, so they're on the boat. Jack's powers really come to fruition here because he turns into a 500-pound, 9-foot-tall mass of baby. He just really just grows, and he sits on a bunch of people, and then he runs away like the Hulk. And he turns real small again, and then he phases through some more walls. For the most part, the kids trying to save the parents is them just trying to figure out where Jack disappeared to so that you can pad the runtime a little bit.
I was surprised that was like over 2 hours.
Oh, it's exactly 2 hours.
It's 2 hours, 5 minutes.
No, it's not.
I mean, I looked up the runtime. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Well, you're wrong. It's an hour and 58 minutes.
Well, which also is not 2 hours exactly, but when I looked up the runtime for Incredibles 2, it said 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I saw it today.
Mm-hmm.
It's an hour and 58 minutes. No big deal.
Well,
we all make mistakes.
Is it including... No, because
that is including credits, yeah.
Okay, because I'm just saying that's like, when I looked it up, it says 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Okay.
So... So
it's okay, Kyle. We all make mistakes.
No, it's not a mistake. I think you're the one making a mistake. I trust Google more than I trust you.
But I'm so trustworthy. Nope. I gave you all the right names on the first try, without any tricks or twists.
We're already past an hour, by the way.
I know. I saw. I just looked at that. I was like, my God. Yeah, this will probably just be one subject. It's gonna be a standalone video. So they're on the boat. Everyone's hypnotized except for the kids, and then Jack kind of floats up to Mrs. Incredible, who doesn't do anything, even though she's evil. And then Jack kind of uses telekinesis to pull the goggles off. And then Elastigirl knocks off Frozone knocks off Mr. Incredible, and then they save the ship. The bad guy gets into a plane, just like in Incredibles 1, starts flying off, and then, now here's the difference. Instead of throwing them into the engine, what Elastigirl does is get really up high, where the oxygen is thin, and so she starts to go loopy and pass out, and she's like, "How it's fun," and then she sees a flare gun, and then points it right at the villain, and shoots her right in the chest, and knocks her outside of the plane.
Wait, so why does she have to go up high to get loopy?
Because Elastigirl was on the plane. The villain was taking the plane up high.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Shoots her with a flare gun, knocks her outside of the plane,
mm-hmm.
and then she's like, "Well, time to autopilot this plane into the ground," and then she jumps out, saves the villain, turns into a parachute, and floats down.
So is they do the parachute thing?
They do the parachute thing. Just replace Jack.
That's fine.
Okay. Just replace Jack with a villain, and yeah, it is the same thing.
Now, do they outrun the falling jet as well?
It crashes before they do.
Okay.
Just into the water. What they do, though, is the cruise ship that they're on, it has to turn, but the Mr. Incredible broke all the steering mechanisms, so he has to go under the boat and turn it manually. And it's exciting. It's a good action sequence. The boat has to turn, and it gets real close, and it almost hits all the buildings, but it doesn't. And then Violet's like, "You know what, I'm going to talk to Tony Redinger like a normal person." And she's like, "Hey, Tony, it's nice to meet you. I'm Violet." And he's like, "Nice to meet you, too." And that's the end of that. And then Dash is like, "I'm going to do in school." And then they don't talk about that ever again. And then Elastigirl's like, "You have powers, Jack." She's like, "Yep, and we can talk about it later." And they don't talk about it later. And then Mr. Incredible's like, "You know what? I feel like you were a superhero today." And yeah, that's it. And then the bad girl goes to jail. And as she's getting into the car, Violet makes a passing remark. She's like, "Well, she's going to jail, but she's rich, so it's just gonna be a slap on the wrist, isn't it?" And then Bob Odenkirk goes, "Ha ha! Oh, kids!" And then that's the end. I'm not kidding.
That's So she makes a salient point, and then they're like, "Haha, that's a joke."
Let's not talk about this ever again.
Yeah.
You guys did incredible today. Also, I don't really know what happens with Frozone. Most of the proponents of this movie just they just feel like they're just used for the plot. Really didn't go anywhere. There's no interesting dynamic. You remember the scene in Incredibles 1 where they're on the jet?
I can pretty much tell you right now, I do not.
There's a great scene where they're on the jet and they're flying to the island, and then Syndrome's revealing his evil plan, and then Helen calls in. She's like, "India Dodger 9er, this is a plane requesting landing on your island." And then Bob makes the mistake. He goes, "Helen," and Syndrome's like, "So you do know these people? Well, let's send them a little welcoming gift." And he fires missiles at them, and the missiles start to hit the plane, and then it's just a sheer panic mode where no, you're wrong.
No, it's okay. Also, I'm not wrong. If it's wrong, Google is wrong.
Okay, Google's wrong.
And I'm gonna trust Google over you that it's 2 hours and 5 minutes.
No. It's wrong.
Although, admittedly, IMDb does say the runtime is 118 minutes.
It's about 1 hour and 58 minutes. At the theater too, it's listed as 1 hour and 58 minutes.
Well,
and we were in there for 1 hour and 58 minutes.
Well, I'm not sure why Incredibles 2. Also, I don't trust trust you, so I'm gonna.
Well, you don't have to trust me. You can trust IMDb and like theater runtimes.
Well, I don't know the theater runtime. I wasn't at the theater.
Just walk down there, Kyle.
No,
you were at the theater because we both saw this movie.
No,
today.
we didn't. I don't know why you keep lying to people. I didn't see this movie. I don't like to see movies.
I saw this. Yeah, so it's the first movie again. Just there's no syndrome this time. Is it good? Sure. Do I want to see it again? I'm gonna, but not because I want to. It's because I have commitments. The nice thing is I get to wait a week before I have to see it again. That will be nice. Do you have anything else to add?
No.
What did you think of The Incredibles 2?
My portion was done in the beginning.
What did you think
the
of
last,
The Incredibles 2? Did you like
40 some odd minutes was yours.
Did you like it? Did you like
I didn't see it, so I have nothing to say. Noah's playing with his belly button, for those of you who can't see it, because there's no camera here, it's just us talking. I don't know why he's doing it.
I'm trying to trip you up so you make a mistake again. Just love when you make mistakes.
Nope, I don't think I've made mistakes.
Can you do me a favor?
Nope.
You just do me one.
Nope.
No, I need.
Nope. I know, but
I need you to do one.
No, I'm not going to say it.
I need you to say July 16th, 2016.
Thank you for watching this Incredibles 2 review. Who knows if this is the full Boxland broadcast or there'll be
I feel like it probably is.
Extra parts. But
I mean, I don't know.
Regardless of what happens, may the Grand Tsar bless your...
Hold on. There's a new Meg trailer.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, there is.
Oh.
It's the international one. This is just a quick, you know what? I'm going to put a little marker. Boop. There we go. It's 2 subjects today. The Meg trailer.
Well, I mean, we could do 3. We could do, like my Incredibles 2 thing, and then the actual real Incredibles 2.
I didn't put a marker for that one, though.
Oh, well, that was a fucking mistake.
Wasn't it? Oops.
Now we just have an hour-long topic no one's going to watch.
The Meg trailer, international one, is real good.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you, it gives you more Jason Statham swimming with a harpoon gun. You get more Megalodon swimming through crowds of people. You get more Megalodon biting on little chaps in little floats. You get more Megalodon eating the squid.
I'm interested
I am full on for this movie.
Because I don't want this to be long, but it's like in the beginning, it's all like, hey, there's this high tech underwater station, and then 80% of them the trailer becomes, or 70-80% of it's Jaws, essentially.
Just
here's a beach.
It's just Jaws harder.
Yeah, it's like Jaws if Jaws was a megalodon.
Jaws Wick.
But yeah, it's now they're on a beach. I'm like, how do they go from this high tech and just how much of the times you'd be this high tech underwater exploration center to we're on the beach?
Well, I'm happy to announce that the international trailer does answer that question by not answering that question at all.
Yeah, of course it would answer that question.
It may involve more of it, but it probably doesn't. It seems like that's a Chinese underwater lair. Mm-hmm. Not a lair.
Well, I don't know why you use the word lair.
To be honest, Incredibles 2 got on my brain. That's what happened. It's underwater Chinese lab.
Yeah, because the whole thing is we can go further down into the ocean than anyone else has ever gone.
Now there is one line that's uttered in the new international trailer that has me real intrigued here, because and it's hard to hear the new international trailer. It's got Japanese subtitles on it. Okay. I think. I shouldn't say. I don't know. I don't know how to read any foreign language except French. I can read French, a little bit of Swedish, but I don't know any other one. So I don't know what I don't know.
And you're on a roll. Chinese lair and Japanese subtitles.
I mean, because the report was by. The trailer was dropped. I found out about it from Collider.
Okay.
And then they published it, and I don't remember what they said. They wrote it down where it was from. Anyway, it's a little hard to hear, but at one point, you hear Rainn Wilson talking, and you also get more Ruby Rose in this trailer as well.
Okay.
which is nice because she's listed as like the #1 cast member for this movie, and I saw her all twice.
Yeah, she's like briefly I think in the bottom, and then she's like, I think she says something as they're like walking on a dock or something, and then that's it.
So you hear Rainn Wilson say, and this is all you hear. So we're opening a super highway for a bunch of gigantic sharks? And then they don't address that question, but I'm like, is there more than one Meg?
Or are they summoning a bunch of sharks to kill the Meg?
Is this turning into Pacific Rim 2 Uprising, where they're trying to summon more kaiju, but they're summoning more Megs? Megs.
I don't know. Now I'm really into the thing of
sharks versus sharks.
Yeah, they realize that as puny mortals they can't do anything. However,
no. Jason Statham has a harpoon gun. He's gonna take down the Meg.
Okay, if you've made it through this shit show so far, I need you to do me a favor.
Made it through the shit show.
I need you to
in this cacophony.
I need you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine something. Okay. We're reaching the climax. No.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
They're already closed.
We're reaching the climax of the Meg, right? It's like the final fight. They're like, we have to do it, and they're like, I don't know. And then someone like pulls a switch, and they're like, damn it, this is our last chance, and they do it, and all of a sudden like this like door opens up, and just this like 100 sharks, and you know who's leading the charge on a shark? It's Jason goddamn Statham with his harpoon gun. He's just like saddled up a shark. He's just like riding his like just over the water. He's just like it's like the fin, and it's just like Jason Statham riding with his harpoon gun in one hand, and then they're just like, and he's just leading these like sharks to kill the Meg.
Oh my god!
And that's
a megalodon.
Yeah, and that's it.
I would like that. Yeah, you got some harpoon. It looks like there's a high-speed chase with the megalodon at one point underwater. Like Jason Statham's got one of those like super fast like underwater submarine things with a jet, and then he's running away from the Meg, and then he turns it and he's chasing the Meg. And I'm like, there's so much intriguing stuff happening here. Also, the poster's amazing. The new Meg poster, yeah, it's like that shot at the end of all the trailers where the Meg's coming up and there's just a boat. But they replaced the boat with a little person in a little inner tube, and so she's tiny, and it's like the Meg, and I think it's like megging its way into theaters soon. It's great. I'm a big fan. I'm all in on this movie. Is it gonna be good? I don't know. It might be. Am I gonna see it? Yes, I'm gonna see the fucking crap out of this movie because my god. Now I don't even Famously, I hate everything oceanic. Wait.
Okay, so, and this is on comicbook.com.
Hold on, quick question. Oceanic, that's not relating to the ocean, is that? That's like a group of
I think so.
Islands?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't hate everything oceanic. I hate everything relating to the ocean.
No, it's just being super racist.
Apparently that's my day.
So from comicbook.com, they have sort of, and I didn't realize some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So this is the synopsis they've got. With his crew trapped inside as the submersible lies disabled at the bottom of the deepest trench in the Pacific, expert deep-sea rescue diver Taylor is recruited by visionary Chinese oceanographer Dr. Minwei Zhang to save the crew and the ocean itself from the unstoppable oversized shark. Taylor, who encountered the terrifying creature years before, will team with Su Yin and must confront his fears to save everyone trapped below. Bring him face to face once more with the greatest and largest predator of all time. Do you think they've been showing us the trailers in reverse? And it starts off with the Meg on the surface, and then it finishes within the bottom.
So yeah, I think the first scene has to start with Jason Statham in that submarine being like, my god, it's a megalodon. I think that scene has to happen. Also the giant squid thing. I feel like that's all going to be happening. No, you know what? No. A goddamn megalodon. 55 years later, Jason Statham's now, I assume, still the same age because he doesn't age.
Rather than hour and 50.
He doesn't age, and he never has, and he never will. And then the Chinese are like, oh my god, I was getting attacked by a giant squid and then a megalodon showed up. And then they're like, Jason Statham, you famously said you met a megalodon once. And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. That's Jason goddamn Statham. And they're like, only you can prevent megalodons. And then they send him down there with his little rocket submarine, and then he does a little chase with the megalodon, and he's like, you bastard, you killed my childhood. And then he takes his harpoon gun, and then what's this? Submarine? And who's in the submarine? Marines. And they're all played by Ruby Rose and the rest of the gang. And then Rainn Wilson's on a boat.
That sounds like a shitty band.
Because he
Ruby Rose and the rest of the gang.
What about just a band name called The Rest of the Gang?
Still, I mean,
better?
I do my best to judge a band based on its name, but it doesn't sound good. The Rest of the Gang.
Is it better or worse than Ruby Rose and The Rest of the Gang?
Well, I don't know if Ruby Rose can sing, so I don't know if it's better or worse.
I think she can.
All I know is that, like, she's fairly attractive, so I'll say it's worse than Ruby Rose and the Rest of the Gang.
Because at least the gang. Better or worse?
I feel like it would be worse.
What about rest of? What about Rose and? Oh no. What about Rose and? Just gonna keep
remember when
your face
when it was like
hand.
an hour and I was like doing the outro.
I remember, but
then you were like,
I wanted to bring
trailer.
up the Meg. I did want to bring up the Meg because I watched it today and I was like, my god, this looks amazing. I really want to see this. Famously Scared of the Ocean, all in on this movie. You know what movie I was not okay with? The Shallows, with
Blake Lively.
Thank you. Because that movie was like, it's 50% slow motion of Blake Lively walking or swimming or diving or fixing a cut, and the other 50% is there's a shark and it's real. I'm not okay with that movie. This movie I'm all about, though. This movie is just, it looks so good. So what do you think? Are you excited for the Megalodon audience, people out there listening? Are you interested in seeing...
Do I just go all out and just be like, what are our Meg predictions?
What are your Meg? Do you have a prediction? Because I haven't thought enough about that.
Like,
I mean, I can right now.
I mean, I do. We're on hour 17, so may as well just like let's just
shoot for an hour and a half.
Let's just fucking keep rolling on.
Like a train.
I'm thinking like kind of like our skyscraper one, where it's like, how do you think this movie goes?
Okay.
So, I'll pitch my first one, and then you can do yours.
I may just jump on yours.
Okay.
We'll just like see. I'll try and add to it.
So, once again, I'm basing a lot of it on this like the comicbook.com sort of synopsis. And yeah, I'm going to assume that it's like starts off, and I don't think he's in like this like it starts off in the research thing. I think it's like, oh, there's been a bunch of murders, and they're like, oh, Taylor, I think was his name. Yeah. And hey, go solve these. You know, it's like, do your fucking job figure out what's killing divers. So he goes down, like, and is like, he gets batted around, and I assume there's like multiple subs, right? It's like, hey, this is a big enough deal that's like you and I assume in the beginning it's like, oh, we're best friends, but we're gonna be in separate subs. And so it's like they go down, and then they get batted around. Like his friend and the other sub dies from the Meg, and like he comes up. He's just like, he retires or whatever. It's like he refuses to go deep sea. Yeah, right. And then it's like he hears that it comes back, and this guy's like, I'm offering you more money than you can turn down, right? So yeah, he goes down there, and then it is.
That scene is in the trailer, the international one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jason. Because sorry to interrupt. I don't hear the proposal.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Statham's just like, you can pay me whatever you like. My answer's still no. You can show me whatever you want. My answer's still no. You can appeal to my higher good nature. My answer's still no, because I don't have one. My answer is no. And then he's in the submarine later, so I don't know what they say to encourage him to go, but like, I'm intrigued now because he doesn't have a higher sense of goodwill, or money.
Mm-hmm. So it's like he gets convinced to go down there, and then it's pretty much just like the trailer show where it's I assume it ends up like breaking through where it's like they have to evacuate this underwater lab, right? So yeah, they get up to the surface and it's like, oh, it has to. Maybe it's like a cyclical thing of like every X amount of years it comes to the surface or whatever, and it's like, oh, it's gonna come back up.
It's Pennywise.
Yeah, maybe like this is Pennywise as a shark. It's actually
this is it too.
Yeah, this is it 1.5. It's doing the Lion King thing. But yeah, so they go up top and they have to deal with all of, you know, there's the whole like padding sort of in the middle where it's, hey, we all gotta get prepared for this, and then it's like you learn more about the characters and everything so that when they get eaten by the megalodon
you care a little bit.
Yeah,
just enough.
And then now I'm really hoping that they're like, the only way we can kill is if we get more sharks, and we gotta
open up the super waterway.
Yeah, so we have to like kill this big shark with lots of sharks. So I'm banking all in now that they're going to summon 1 million sharks.
I like the idea that there's just a room with a bunch of sharks at the army's disposal. They're just like, just in case, we have 150 smaller sharks in this door. If the megalodon comes out, lead it to this door. We'll click the button. Jason Statham's already in there.
Yeah.
He's ready to go. He put the saddle in his favorite one. Its name is Lucky.
Yeah, and so they ride through, and yeah, they get like the other sharks to kill the megalodon. That's and then it's all like, hey, good job everyone. And then Jason Statham's character is now like, I faced my fear and I can become a deep water diver again.
And then he goes down, jumps in the water, he starts swimming. He's just like, you know who I haven't heard from in a long time? Ruby Rose. Or Rainn Wilson. I wonder where those guys were. Oh my god, what's that at the bottom of the ocean? Oh, it's a submarine. What's it doing down there? He says in his favorite.
Why are you doing a weird Jim Carrey type?
No. That was Will Shatner. He says in his favorite William Shatner impersonation that Jason Statham always does. And then he gets down there and he bangs on the window and Ruby Rose is there and she's just like, you gotta get us out of here, Jason Statham. He's like, I will. I'll do it for you. And then Rainn Wilson pushes her out of the way and he says something funny because he thinks he's more important or something because he's Rainn Wilson. He's good at that. Dwight from The Office, if you didn't know.
Having never seen The Office. Yeah.
You should. At least an episode, because I think you'd like it. And then he turns around, he's like, I'll go get help. And he starts swimming up. But what's this? Bigger megalodon.
Oh,
and they wasted 150 sharks on the other one. And that was an intense battle. Almost all of them are dead. Lucky's not quite dead, but he's real close to being dead.
Is Lucky like the blue of this
Lucky
movie?
Lucky is the blue of this movie, yes.
Now, see, I like the way that went. However, though, it's wrong.
What?
This is the way the Meg actually ends. This is the post-credit one.
Okay.
Right? And it's not Jason Statham, because they gotta save Jason Statham for, like, he's a busy man. He doesn't have time to do post-credit
scene. He's got a Fast and Furious movie coming out, famously with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes. Which I'm really interested in.
Didn't they say it was a buddy cop?
Yeah. It's not buddy cop, but it's like, it's a buddy movie.
Road trip movie.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's going to call it like a Fast and Furious. It's just their characters from Fast and Furious.
I hope it's just Jason Statham and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson buddy cop movie.
So what happens is, and I don't know if they use one of the more minor casts to like do this or whatever. Maybe it's another Chinese like an underwater station owned by the same guy. Anyhow, so there's like a crew that goes down, right? And then there's something in the water.
No.
And then, right, just at the end, it's like it comes out and like eats it. What is that? The Leopleurodon. That's right. The Meg 2 will be called the Leo. You're welcome.
Who voices the Leopleurodon?
No one. It's an animal. No one needs to voice the Leopleurodon.
Someone needs to voice it.
No one needs to voice the Leopleurodon.
Hear me out. We get Bill Hader to voice the Leopleurodon.
Why?
Because he does that thing with his eyes. And that's all you need. Don't you want to? You tell me you don't.
It's the magical Leopleurodon, Charlie. Thank you for watching the Boxland broadcast.
No.
Yes.
You're telling me that if we watch the Meg And you get to the credits, and the credits are rolling. It's like, who played Taylor? Jason Statham. Who played whatever Ruby Rose's character's name is? Ruby Rose. Who played whatever Rainn Wilson's name's character is? Rainn Wilson. And then you have, like, a title card, The Meg, and it's played by, like, fucking, like, Jude Law. Would you not be intrigued as to what they had to get him to do?
I would be like,
I would go out of my way to buy the DVD so that I could get special features and be like, I need to see Jude Law doing the voice for the Meg. Because what does that entail?
Do you think he would also do like the CGI, like they have the suit on him and he has just swim through the water? Yeah.
Yes, I do think that. So hear me out. Leonardo DiCaprio for the Leo Plurdo.
It's Leo as the Leo.
Yes. Yes, no, I think that's what we should. Yeah, that's
the Leo.
Yeah,
I'm standing by. I'm putting my stamp on that.
Put the stamp on the Leo.
Yes, that's how it ends. If not, they've wasted a humongous possibility to make a series off of prehistoric sea creatures that you can just shorten to 3 letters.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm really excited for that movie.
So now
hold on. One last thing. Did you ever see... Listen, I'm shooting for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Exactly. Don't fuck with me on this. If you doing this is making it longer. Did you ever see the show Surfaced?
No.
There's a show from like 6 years ago, and it wasn't great. But it was about a kid who finds a little baby sea monster, and that baby sea monster becomes a real big sea monster, and then they destroy the entire world. The Meg looks like what that show could have been.
Did you ever watch Charlie the Unicorn with the magical...
Yeah, of course I fucking watched Charlie the Unicorn.
I wasn't sure if you got the reference. If you as a listener have not seen Charlie the Unicorn, go watch Charlie the Unicorn. What are you doing listening to this? You clearly don't have much time on your hands. Go watch Charlie the Unicorn. You won't be disappointed. You'll also get the really magical Leopleurodon reference.
That's amazing.
It's also old as fuck.
It is.
That was one of like the first YouTube videos I recall seeing.
Yeah. I was young. A young man back then. Had no problems.
That was around the time when Adventure Time was still just the YouTube series.
See, I never saw it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about that.
Fine, you want to hit through an hour and a half?
Yeah,
I'll talk for the last 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a YouTube series of just like shorts. It's like, oh, Adventure Time. And then years after, I was like... People were like, oh, Adventure Time. I'm like, oh, the YouTube thing. They're like, no, the like Cartoon Network show or whatever it's on.
Yeah,
I think Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? It was that weird moment of like, there's multiple seasons of this show that I recall seeing bits of on YouTube first. Like, it was just a weird thing.
So I hope everyone enjoyed that. I mean, you got for like probably those like 20 fans who saw the show Surface on Netflix like 6 years ago. All 2 seasons of it. Man, who didn't enjoy that? Wasn't it great? It didn't instill a deep, dark hatred of all things water because those sea monsters clearly exist, right? They're clearly down there. It does also have the water highway where like a hole opens up in the earth and these gigantic sea monsters start pouring out and then they take over the world and they flood the world and then they just start eating buildings. It's real weird in the last episode. But that's what happens. So, hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to this week's Boxland broadcast, episode 2, the one with the Incredibles and Meg and obscure Adventure Time and
who knows how many parts this is gonna be?
I'm gonna say 25, starting with Incredibles 2. Your predictions?
I mean, I think we can separate those two.
Really can.
Yeah,
I might not though, but maybe I will. Who knows? Big fucking mystery, isn't it? Alright, well that's our show. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us talk again, all of you who are out there. Did you watch the first episode? Let us know what you thought about it. Also, if you saw The Incredibles 2, let me know if you think I'm stupid. A lot of people probably will, because I tend to have an opposite opinion of what Disney
Why are you doing a weird accent thing?
Because fuck you, that's why.
You're trying to kill 30 seconds?
I'm not trying to kill 30 seconds. I was going to try and wrap it up a little bit early and then just wait another 20 seconds, but now I'm coming up pretty close here.
Yeah, you are.
So, thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on the Meg? Are you interested? I hope you are, because my god, it looks real good. And then you got Surface. Did you see that show? Let us know. Tell us about this. And Kyle, you want to take it away with your end credits?
Nope, you've already been talking. You have 4 seconds. Say it.
And may the Grand Tsar bless your days.